It is I, Tony fucking Lee. How are you all doing, guys? I realized from tomorrow it would have been 3 weeks since I've posted consistently every single day, which is fucking amazing. And I think I've been able to do this because I think I've figured out what my purpose is and what my life task is. Now, purpose, direction, life's mission, life's task, all these words are words that I grew up hearing in the self-help industry or just reading those books. And after growing a pair of nuts or after feeling my balls drop, I wanted to know what like my life's task was. And deep down, I always knew what that was, but I know a lot of people as well, they struggle to know like why they were put on this earth for. And there's this Bible verse that always stuck with me. I'm not necessarily a religious person. I grew up in church, and I'm not saying you guys have to be religious. I don't care what you guys believe in. If you believe in donkeys snorting cocaine, then so be it. But there's this Bible verse that said something like, "For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable," which pretty much means to me that we were all put on this earth to do something. That we're all put on this earth with a gift, a certain trait that we're good at, something that we're naturally have a natural inclination towards. And I believe that's our gift. And if I'm using myself as an example, I think my gift was always entertaining people and telling stories. I don't know why it was that, but ever since I was a little kid, I loved like being the class clown. You know, it was more of like a attention-seeking thing as well, but I loved making people laugh. I loved telling my own stories. I loved dancing. I loved like acting like a goofball, acting. I studied drama as well. This is one specific situation that I've been telling myself, or memory, and I'll tell you guys as well. I remember after church, there was this extra curriculum that all the kids had to do. So there was probably around like 50 of us, 50 to 100. It's a big church. And it was like boys from like 5 to 15 or 12 years old. And I'd say 90, well, besides two people, all the males, they did Taekwondo. There was a few classes and Taekwondo was one of them, and all the boys chose that. I only remember one other dude besides me who always chose art, drama, music, arts and craft, all that stuff. And that was one of me. I was one of them. And I'm not sure why. I couldn't, if I was to go back in time and ask my 8-year-olds of why the fuck did you choose drama and shit, like it was always so unconventional. The classes were filled with other girls, obviously, because most girls would choose the arts and stuff just by nature. And I remember there were times where I would decide to do Taekwondo for that 1 week, and it felt cool being around all the other boys, but I always hated it, or not hated it, but I always went back into arts and crafts and drama. And even in high school, I'd watch YouTube, and I always remember telling to my friends and stuff if I could be vulnerable with them, like, yo, like, I always, like, I want to be a YouTuber as well and tell stories, like, create skits. And so I always knew what my life task was, and it's been a battle since maybe 1920 of when I first started committing to it, and then there were road bumps along the way. It's why if you're an OG fan, you watch me since my reaction days, you know that I was very up and down, up and down. I'd post for like a few months and I'd stop. When I would post, like people would say you're a natural, and I'd grow subscribers like crazy. Like I think I hit 1,000 subscribers in like 6 or 7 months, which is pretty fucking quick, not to fucking spit on my own dick here, but I have a natural inclination towards it. And I think if you don't know what your life task is, I'd ask yourself the same question. Like when you were younger, what did you naturally have an interest in? You know, like when the other kids were in the playground building sandcastles and on the monkey bars, what did you decide to do? What were the things you were doing? At home as well, what do you like to do? You know, it's a lot harder now when you ask an adult, like, oh, what do you like to do in your spare time? A lot of them like, oh, I'm just so exhausted from work, you know, like just fucking all these gay ass answers. But deep down, they know they have things they're interested in. It might leak out in other ways, like on their, if someone's like really into music, they might have a weird obsession of like listening to all the albums that drop, or you know, there's other examples as well. You know, that everyone has their own unique things that they just naturally like. And Robert Greene talks about this in his book Mastery. He used the exact same example as saying, like, when we were a kid, we all had these like slight quirks or interests or things that just made us different, that, you know, through life and getting older kind of got bullied out of us or phased out of us. Our parents may have not recognized it or whatever, but everyone has this natural inclination towards this one thing. I think the closer you are pursuing that or doing that task and living out that life, that this gift, this calling that the universe or God or whoever you believe in has set you out for, I think the closer you are to that task, the more fulfilled your life is going to be. And just back to my original point, I've been very consistent for the last 3 weeks, and During those 3 weeks, I've mentioned a few times as well, actually, like, I think I found my niche. I don't know what my niche is ADHD, and I think over the last few days, I've been able to get a few coaching calls, and through those coaching calls, I've learned I really like helping people, and I always love to fucking put myself down and think of myself lower than I probably am, because on these calls, it really makes me realize, like, oh, people are coming for my help and they find my advice valuable, and when they say, like, oh, like, don't change up your content, like, it's very genuine, and I find it so motivating. Like, these aren't things I'm even thinking about. Again, I'm not deliberately spitting my dick, just hear me out. It pretty much confirms something I've already known, that this is my gift, my calling. And I'm not even fully trying yet, but if I fully commit to it, it will inspire so many more people. I mean, there's people already watching my videos, liking them, hopping on calls with me, asking for my advice. Like, that means something. And I know you guys had that as well. Yours also might be telling stories, but it could be other forms as well. And you may or may not be pursuing them. You may not be aware of it, but just think back to those things. And once you realize or have a general direction, try it. And if you realize when you do these things, you realize that you love committing yourself to it. You love the learning process. You realize when you're doing these tasks or when you're working towards it, time just goes past. You're not feeling bored at all. That might be a good indication. And I think everyone should be working and striving towards their purpose, their life's task. And that's just the late night thought I've had. I've realized, like, these 3 weeks have gone by so quick. It's been the most fulfilled and happiest I've been. I've been working a lot. I haven't seen my partner in a while. I haven't seen my friends. I miss my family, of course, but something's just it's pushing me. I'm not thinking about all the negatives. I'm actually more positive than I am. I feel more alive than ever. I haven't had days where I'm just fucking locked in, like, on my laptop, learning, posting content, learning it more about the sort of content I should be posting. How can I help others? Like, where am I gonna bring my coaching? What direction is that going? Time's going by crazy. I used to get so bored. I'd be scrolling my bed for hours, like, just watching the time just go by so slow, wishing the next day would roll around. But now it's like the days are fucking going quick, man. And it's all, the only difference I've made in the last 3-4 weeks is by being very specific with what my goals are and focusing on that only. You know, there are other pillars in your life that you focus on: health, wealth, relationship, mindset. They're necessities, of course, and they're a good foundation, but they should all be supporting something. What are these pillars supporting? There's a core in the middle there, and I believe that's your life's task, your purpose, your mission. And if my videos are inspiring you guys and it's helping you in some sort of way, and I'm grateful that you guys are watching as well, and I hope it is inspiring you as well, actually. Before I would say, oh, I don't even know if these videos are inspiring, like, but I genuinely hope so. Because, I mean, in an egotistical way, it would make me feel better, but at the same time, it means that I know there's someone else changing their lives, working towards a direction that they were made for. Hopefully that made sense. I'm going to finish this video with a journal entry I literally just made before I clicked film or record, and I've transferred it onto my laptop from my iPhone, and it's just titled My Life's Task. If you don't journal, by the way, you should journal. This is one of my journal entries that I've had. It's quite profound. I think God put me on this earth to see I think God put me on this earth to see me fully pursue and consume myself in my own life's task, which is to tell stories, make people feel emotions, and inspire others. I genuinely believe that. I had this same feeling when I was a little kid. The past few weeks, I've been wondering how I was going to use my life's task and spread value to others. I didn't know what form or shape that took place in. I always knew I liked creating content, being in front of the camera and speaking, but I wasn't sure about what. But what if it's about me talking about my own experiences, doing my life's task, learning, winning, failing, and then winning again? What if by me pursuing my life's task, fully committing to my purpose, reaching my full potential, my own unique gifts and calling from God, that would inspire others to do the same thing, to find their own life's task and fully commit to it? This is my late night thought. It could be just a thought unless I act on it. I've been looking for my dream avatar, you guys, my Grand Slam offer for my dream avatar. What if it's just me being me, doing what I love and helping others find their own life's task and seeing them walk their own path? I know it's all deep and emotional and shit, but I don't know. When I wrote that down, I felt something, and maybe you guys felt something as well. And yeah, I'll leave it as that. I don't want to sell my fucking coaching link in the description, but if you think my advice would help you, if you're struggling to find your own life's task, your own journey in life, and you want to monetize that and make that your living and fully pursue it and just live a life of freedom, then I can help you out with that, I promise. The link is in the description. We can work together. But if not, that's totally okay. It is I, Tony fucking Lee. I love you. Good night.